Hello everyone, welcome to SPED 517 Analysis of Behavior in Applied Context. My name is Sunny Kim. You can call me Sunny or Dr. Kim, either way works. We are going to use Cooper's book. It's called Applied Behavior Analysis by Pearson. You can purchase that book through Amazon or UIC bookstore, anywhere. And other readings will be available on Blackboard. The purpose of this course is to provide teachers and other school staffs with advanced knowledge related to the development of systematic behavior intervention plans for individuals with behavior issues based on the principles and concepts of applied behavior analysis. You may think that I'm repeating some of the information you have learned in SPED 514. Yes, I'm going to. SPED 514 and 517, those two courses are sequential course, and the concepts are related. So I'm going to revisit some of the important concepts, but we are going to go more in depth. For example, we are going to talk about chaining, shaping, punishment, and reinforcement, such concepts, but we are going to think about how those intervention strategies have been developed, under what concept or what theory or principles, and we are also going to think about how we can differentiate those intervention strategy for each student to meet each student's needs. So that's the main task we are going to do in our class SPED 517. Now we are going to review our syllabus, but if you have any question, please email me anytime, sunnykim@uic.edu, or we are going to have online office hour every Wednesday from noon to 3 p.m. through Google Docs. You will see the link on your syllabus. You can visit that webpage if you need. But welcome again. Let's review our syllabus.
Okay. My name again is Sanyang Kim, but I go by Sunny, so you can call me Sunny. My email address is sunnykim@uic.edu. You can email me if you have any concerns or questions. I'm an assistant professor in early childhood special education, and before I came to UIC, I finished my master's degree in early childhood special education at the University of Texas at Austin, and I work as a special educator at the UT Child Care Center. And then I moved to Wisconsin for my PhD. I finished my doctorate in special ed, minored in research methodology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I moved to Alabama for my first job. I was an assistant professor in early childhood special education for 2 years, and then I moved to UIC. So this is my second semester at UIC, so I'm relatively new to UIC. I'm still learning UIC culture and everything, and I love it. This course is all about behavior. So in this course is to know about behavioral teaching principles. We are going to say the word behavior 1,000 times throughout the semester. We define behavior as observable and measurable evidence of learning. Also, this class is to learn about behavior teaching strategies based on ABA that we are going to talk about today in a moment. But before that, I want to talk about these. Many people think that ABA is an intervention package or intervention or treatments for individuals with autism or emotional behavior disorders only, or people think that ABA is something that needs to happen in a separate room away from distractions like lab or clinic, but those are not those are not true. So we are going to talk about what is the truth in a moment. Okay, so this is the syllabus. As you can see, we'll have online office hour every Wednesday from noon to 3 p.m. through Google Docs. So if you have any concerns or questions, you can visit this website on Wednesday and we can chat or talk. Or we can have office hour or meeting in person by appointment. You can email me at sunnykim@uic.edu to schedule a meeting. You know, this course will be fully offered online. You know that, right? And here is a required text. I sent you the link to purchase this book, but we are going to use Cooper's et al.'s textbook. It's called Applied Behavior Analysis by Pearson. And other readings, required reading will be scanned and will be available online on Blackboard and other directions too. Okay, like I said before, in 517 course, we are going to talk about applied behavior analysis and teaching strategy based on applied behavior analysis. The topics to be covered in this course include selecting, defining, measuring target behavior, fundamental elements of behavior change, procedures for developing a functional hypothesis, a functional behavior intervention assessment by conducting FBA interviews and observations, methods for using the collected information to determine the function of the behavior, methods for developing function-based intervention, and collaborating with core stakeholders to ensure those interventions are implemented as intended, and procedures for monitoring procedure integrity and effectiveness of the behavior intervention or program. Okay, second page, you will see the course expectations. This class will be administered online, so you will be able to see every single materials and directions for the week online. For each week, all of the required materials and like course materials and direction will be available by the Monday morning, and you will have to finish everything by Saturday midnight, although there is one exception. But remember, all of the material will be visible on Blackboard on Monday morning, and I'll email you when it is available. And you have to finish those required assignment or tasks by the following Saturday. So that's how we operate this course. If you have disabilities, so if you need accommodation, or if you have any health issue, so if you need accommodation, please email me, let me know. I'll make the best accommodation for you. And course implementation. Each week, basically what you need to do is you will read required readings, and listen to the short lecture, brief lecture for the week, and complete assigned tasks like assignments or other things. So those are big skeleton for each week. Here's a course assignments for this course. So the first one, practicum report, that's a total of 130 points. So you will develop, I know you already finished this, but you will develop FBA and then BIP using the required Illinois forms by Illinois ISBE. And you will collect data, implement intervention, and you'll collect data and you'll graph your data. We'll talk about those sequence throughout the semester, but those are the required tasks for you. So here's a step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So each of these steps has different due date. But this will be the sequence of this practicum assignment. We say practicum report, but for this course there will be no required hour or something. So if you have a person who you know or you can meet consistently throughout the semester, then you can use that person for your project. So there's no required hour, but you will have to meet the person consistently to finish this, to apply one intervention and to see the effects of the intervention, to change the behavior, to collect data, to do everything. So you will meet with a person with disability or a person with behavior issue. Then you will apply one ABA intervention strategy, and you will see the intervention effects within the individual with disability or behavior issue. So that's the main point. Again, there will be no required hour for this course. Okay, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and descriptions. All forms will be available online. I will upload so you can download and use it. Of course, I will talk about every single element before you complete. So don't worry about this now. So that's 100. And then at the end of at the end of semester, you will have an online presentation. You will record your things, not the teaching. You will summarize your project and you will talk about your own project. So that's the presentation, just 5 minutes. Now, because this is online class, I want to see you are here, you are with me and participating in the course every week. So there will be points for online class participation, 5 points each week, starting from this week, week 1. What you need to do is you will complete every single required task, and then there will be a discussion question for the week. You will post your response by Saturday midnight. And then we want to know about other students' classmate thoughts and opinions. So you will have to comment on 2 other classmates' works each week. So I will give you 1 more day for this commenting task. So you should you should comment on classmates' posts by Sunday midnight. So everything will be due by midnight Saturdays, but commenting this one will be due on Sunday midnight. So this is the exception. Okay, no late work will be accepted, and there will be no partial points for late work. Late assignment policy. This is for the practicum report. Assignments that are turned in late are subject to a 10% grade reduction for each week past the due date. For example, a paper that is turned in 1 day late will be obtained a 10% reduction in a grade earned. A paper that is eight days late will suffer a 20% reduction in the score earned. It's good. And here's a grading scale. You can use this scale to see to evaluate your work. Here's the standards. And again, you can just, when you have time, you can read it. And course schedule. So today is week of January 20, so you need to finish everything by 20. You need to post your respond to the discussion question, which is the introduction, by Saturday, January 20th, midnight, and then you can comment on 2 other classmates' posts by Sunday, midnight, because we want to know about other students, so you can just welcome 2 other classmates warmly. And you can see the readings here and topic. And next week we are going to talk about how to select and define and measure those behavior and evaluating effectiveness of behavior program and procedural integrity. You need to read chapter 3, 4, and 5, and the candidate chapter is scanned. It is available online. And next week you will have to finish this IRIS module. I will talk about this next week. So you can follow this schedule, but the direction for each week's class will be available online on Blackboard. So you'll be able to follow that direction easily. So here's a rubric for online class participation. Well, if you have late work or missing work, I'm not going to give you partial point for that, but here's a rubric to evaluate the quality of your participation each week. Each week you will be able to earn a maximum of 5 points, and this is a rubric for practicum reports. It's very simple. I just follow the steps. So I'll see if you have every single element of this and required elements, and if you keep the page limit, or if you attach the required form, such things. So these are the simple rubrics for you. I believe you skimmed through Bear, Wolf, and Risley's article, right? I believe this article was the required reading for SPED 514 as well, but I included this article again to SPED 517 because I want you to revisit the basic terms and basic understanding, background information about ABA and recall your memory. Okay, according to Bear, Wolf, and Risley, each of the terms, words, apply, behavioral, and analytic has important meaning, right? Apply. Well, non-applied research can include any behaviors, but applied research is constrained to examining behaviors which are socially important rather than convenient for study. applied research is not a lab or clinic research. Applied research should occur in a subject natural setting, and it must be important to the person. So when you pick a target behavior, you will pick the socially important and socially important behavior to the research subjects. So in applied research, there is typically a close relationship between the behavior and stimuli under study, which is the intervention stimuli, and the subject in whom they are studied. So as an applied researcher, you should focus improving behavior that are not burden for the individual and the behavior that are contextually fit to the individual with disability. So you have to always consider this question: how immediately important is this behavior or this stimuli, the intervention, to this subject? Behavior. We know the behavior. Behavior must be observable and measurable. So, because you can measure and observe the behavior, no verbal reports are accepted as evidence of learning. So, you will collect data because the behavior is measurable. You will measure the behavior and you will see if the behavior increase or decrease with your intervention you're using. Analytic means you can measure the behavior, so you can see that the behavior is under the control of the stimulus or stimuli you're providing. So look at this graph. In this graph, target behavior is measurable and observable, which is social interaction here, right? So this is measurable and observable term and target behavior. And without stimuli, the stimuli that is being used in this graph is positive attention. So a teacher is providing positive attention as stimuli, and without stimuli during baseline, before the teacher introduced the stimulus, this person's social interaction behavior stay at low level. And once the teacher introduced the intervention, which is positive attention, behavior increase immediately in each session and maintain at a higher level. And when the teacher is withdraw the intervention again, the behavior decrease a little bit and stay at the lower level. When the teacher introduce the intervention again, the behavior start to increase and stay at higher level compared to the baseline. So this is analytics. So if so by looking at this graph, you can see that the behavior is controlled by introducing and withdrawal the stimuli, right? So when you see this kind of behavior change by graphing or by measuring the behavior, we said this is analytic. So this is the overview of applied behavior analysis. Applied behavior analysis must happen in a natural setting, and the teacher must focus on a behavior that is immediately important to the individual with disability, and the teacher should be able to measure the behavior change and should be able to graph or display the data clearly. So that's the basic information of applied behavior analysis. For next week, you will read Cooper's chapters 3, 4, and 5, and I scanned Kennedy's chapter 2 pages. You can just skim through the pages, and other course materials and directions will be available on Blackboard by next Monday.